If you could make millions of dollars per year, but you'd never have any time to enjoy it, would you consider yourself wealthy? I wouldn't. The average American works 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and an additional 10 hours over the weekend. What if you could cut those hours to just 4 hours of work for the entire week, and earn enough money to have the lifestyle you want? If that sounds better than what you're doing now, watch this video to the end. This is a summary of the key lessons from the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. Most people work long hours for over 45 years while telling themselves they will finally do what they want when they retire. But there are a few problems with this mindset. First, it relies on the assumption that by the time you retire, you can still physically do those things. I don't know about you, but I haven't seen many 70-year-olds surfing or backpacking through Europe. Second, it falsely promotes the idea that retirement is fulfilling for everyone. The truth is, most people get bored in retirement. Even people who hustle and grind to retire at 40 find themselves lonely and spiritless. Retirement shouldn't be your goal. Living the life you want right now should be. Otherwise, you're signing off most of your life doing something you don't like for an employer who wouldn't think twice before firing you to save a few bucks. That sounds pretty depressing when you say it out loud. Instead, you need to think like the new rich. The new rich is a group of people who have redefined wealth. To them, wealth is the ability to use your money to make your life as rich as possible. The new rich work less, earn more per hour when they do work, and spend most of their time doing things that make their lives exciting and therefore happy. I don't know about you, but I would rather snorkel in Hawaii than draft emails behind a desk. Most people never become part of the new rich because they allow perceived barriers to stop them from trying. Most people will choose discomfort over uncertainty. How many jobs, relationships, or experiences have you continued long past when they began to make you unhappy just because you hated the thought of taking a risk on something new or different? But here's the thing, risks aren't as risky as you think. Your worst case scenario is not as bad as you imagine. And even if the gamble fails, you can always return to where you are now with a lesson learned and a new experience in your pocket. Once you overcome the mental obstacles that are in your way, you're ready to join the new rich. And to do so, you need to follow a process called DEAL. Let's break this down. D. Define what makes you happy. This is trickier than it sounds, since we've all been conditioned to believe we should want a prestigious role at a Fortune 500 company and a thickly padded retirement account. To get past that and down to what makes you happy, you must understand that happiness is excitement. The times in our lives we look back at as being the happiest are usually full of exciting experiences. College, when you lived on your own for the first time and learned how to do a cake stand. Vacations, when you tried hang gliding and eating questionable food from street vendors. You get the idea. Stop asking yourself what makes you happy. Ask what makes you excited, and happiness will follow. E. Elimination. Think about the last time someone asked you what was happening in your life or how you've been lately. Chances are your response included something about being busy. Being busy has become a badge of honor to show how successful we are in our careers. But the truth is, being busy is a form of laziness. We're all just putting off doing the most important things in our lives, the things that excite us and make us happy, by staying busy. And if we're being honest, being busy is usually just an excuse to avoid taking action and doing something different. It's much easier to add activities to your calendar for later than to get them out of the way right away. It's the ultimate form of procrastination, like cleaning the house instead of starting a project, times infinity. To become new rich, you must eliminate unimportant activities from your life to focus on what matters. A. Automation. Outsource and automate everything that you can. Don't waste your time on anything that doesn't bring you closer to your goal of a 4-hour work week and living the life you want. Outsourcing isn't a new or revolutionary idea. However, most people still aren't taking advantage of it because they don't value their time or think they can't afford to outsource. The worst is when we tell ourselves we don't deserve to outsource tasks and reclaim our time. Want to see how much outsourcing and automation can change your life? Pick 5 tasks and outsource them for a month. Cleaning, cooking, laundry, errands, whatever. At the end of the month, reflect on all the important things you accomplished by automating the non-important stuff. And if you refuse to pay someone minimum wage to do a task because you don't think it's worth it, then perhaps that task needs to be eliminated, since it obviously adds very little value to your life. Out of all the tricks the rich use to make millions, outsourcing and automation is perhaps the most powerful. Applying this simple idea can grow almost any business to millions of dollars per year, without forcing you to work more hours. L. Liberation. This step involves making the changes and adjustments you need to have the freedom to find happiness. If you reduce your work hours, you can spend your time on other things: family, friends, travel, crossword puzzles, whatever floats your boat. If you can liberate yourself from a single location, you've gone from only having access to experiences that excite you locally to having the entire world as your literal playground. Want to be in Aspen for ski season or Germany for Oktoberfest? Now you can. This also applies to your business. In the age of the internet, it's possible to live in the US and earn a high income while outsourcing time-consuming tasks to countries like Pakistan and Sri Lanka for pennies on the dollar. You can use sites such as Fiverr to do this. This can save you tons of time and make your business far more profitable compared to hiring employees in America. When you join the new rich, you'll discover that relative income trumps absolute income. Let me explain what I mean with a simple example. What sounds better to you? Working 60 hours a week for a salary of $250,000? Or 4-hour weeks for a salary of $40,000? If you chose 4 hours, you understand that freedom acts as a multiplier. You have ultimate freedom when you have control over what you do, when you do it, where you do it, and who you do it with. As long as your cash flow supports those choices, you're golden. You're making almost $200 an hour, while the 9-to-5 guy is making only $80 per hour. If $40,000 covers all your basic living expenses and allows you to spend your time however you want, isn't that so much better? If you're the kind of person who would be bored working only 4 hours a week, you have the time and freedom to start another business or explore another hobby in your spare time. You just can't get freedom like this in a 9-to-5 job. If you're serious about working fewer hours, you'll need some strategy and productivity hacks. Here are a few of my favorites. Leverage the Pareto Principle. The Pareto Principle, or 80-20 rule, specifies that 80% of results come from 20% of the input. So 80% of your profits come from 20% of your clients. 80% of decisions made in meetings come from 20% of the meeting time. You wear 20% of your clothes for 80% of the time, and so on. Be ruthless with how you spend your time to get maximum results. If you're running a business and you have a lot of annoying clients who drain your resources and pay very little, fire them and look for better clients. Understand Parkinsons Law. Parkinsons Law states that work expands to fill the time allotted for completion. This is the culprit behind the email that took you 2 hours to write because it was the only thing on your to-do list before lunch. Humans are naturally procrastinators, so don't allow yourself too much time for each task. Cut your deadlines way down and watch how quickly you get things done. Practice selective ignorance. Stop watching the news and reading opinion pieces. Don't devote time to it if it doesn't directly impact your life. Trust me, if something gets to the point where you really need to know about it, someone in your life will let you know. Use fake meetings to speed up conversations. When you get a phone call from someone you know is long-winded, tell them you have another appointment in 5 minutes. They'll get their point across much faster. This may seem harsh, but it's extremely effective. Your work hours are for work, not for chit-chatting. Do that in your free time when you can truly enjoy the conversation. Batch your emails. We waste so much time constantly checking our inboxes and responding to emails. This stops us from reaching a flow state where our best work happens. Pick 1 or 2 times a day to check it instead. This also applies to checking your phone and scrolling Instagram. Do it once or twice a day instead of mindlessly scrolling every few minutes. To summarize, shifting your view of wealth and happiness to match the new rich will allow you to spend less time on tasks you don't enjoy doing and way more time on things that excite you. You can join the ranks of the new rich by following the DEAL process. Define what makes you happy, eliminate anything that doesn't contribute to your goals, automate as many tasks as possible by outsourcing, and liberate yourself from the constraints of regular employment. Utilize effective productivity tools to make the most of your working time so that you can spend the rest of your time doing things you truly love. Now watch this video on your screen. YouTube picked it out just for you.